Sometimes there's nothing better than revisiting your youth by making something you used to eat. Today's a perfect example of that because we're making SPAGHETTIoS. Let me take that back. We're actually making SPAGHETTIoS with meatballs. I have not had a can of these in my hand, let alone in my body for, when was the last time anybody had SPAGHETTIoS?
20 years ago.
20 years ago. A chance?
Probably close to 20 as well.
A little less. You're a little younger than us. There's a chance. Anyway, let's see what we're dealing with, shall we? I was surprised because I thought this was the one with meatballs, but I'm not seeing any yet. Wouldn't you think the last thing they do in the factory would maybe drop one meatball on top?
I don't think they're doing that attention to detail.
How far do you think we have to go to find a meatball? Because there ain't no meatball in there. Unless they're really tiny. Maybe they are. All right, there's two. Oh, I found one. So that's 5 scoops before you hit meatballs. Oh, they're all at the bottom. All right, here we go. Oh, they're cute. How many meatballs would you imagine there'd be in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's find out. None in there. 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, bottom of the can. Okay, 15 meatballs. Let's try it and see what we think. Arguably, it's cold, so I'll keep that in mind. Recipe has not changed at all. You know, it's not great, but it's very familiar and sort of comforting in a mediocre sort of way. Oh, the meatball's not good.
I know ours is going to be a billion times better.
Oh, ours is going to be a billion times better. Thank you, Max. All right, here's the plan. Sauce first, meatballs, give them a little sear, finish them in the sauce, and we cook our SPAGHETTIoS. Into a quickly warming pan, we add some olive oil and 1 medium-sized onion, diced fairly small. We give it a quick mix, and then let it soften over the next 4 or 5 minutes. All right, looking good. Let's fling in a little garlic like that. And it wouldn't be the worst thing if you gave it a little squeeze of oil, patted it down a bit, let the whole thing start to come together. And just as it gets super fragrant, like now, we're gonna give it some tomato paste, a couple tablespoons, and mix that in. Sort of just toasting the tomato paste a little bit, just amplifying the flavor. It's gonna be great. And after about a minute of that, we have some tomatoes to put in. And this is a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Could be whole peeled tomatoes if you want to do the squishing by hand.
In-house squishing?
You know, yes, but I think this is probably a little bit easier. So give this a second to start to bubble. And while we're waiting, we can add a couple other things.
We like to outsource our squishing.
A couple tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, uno and due, some dried oregano, recipes below, don't worry about it. And because of the acid in tomatoes, you always want to add some sugar. That's about a tablespoon. I like a little heat, so some red pepper flakes. We haven't seasoned it yet. Let's give it some salt and pepper and mix. And you are on your way, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to some delicious sauce. Delicious. Will it rival this? Not sure. We're certainly hoping and keeping our fingers crossed. In the meantime, we want to bring this up to a little boil. If you don't cover this, you're going to be wearing it, or your kitchen will be wearing it. Throw a cover on it. Like that, turn it down to a sort of a good simmer. You're gonna leave that for about 15 minutes. In the meantime, we're making meatballs. And we begin our meatballs with meat. It's a pound of ground beef. Could be ground veal, ground pork combo. We're just going with this today. And we add the following. Some ricotta cheese. That will add deliciousness. Shredded Parmesan. Listen, a good meatball requires good Parmesan. And if you have it, I'd use it. Some panko breadcrumbs as a binder. By the way, recipes below. Don't worry about writing it down. We need some garlic, couple cloves or tablespoons of the paste, nice little hit of salt and pepper. Our red pepper flake friends are back. 1 egg, a little shot of olive oil, about a tablespoon, and we'll mix with our hands, but using gloves, like this. Oh man, I know how good these are, and I'm happy and excited. Center it. And with everything's mixed in, time to make some meatball. So here's our question. What size should they be? And I think they should be small. I've got this little guy, so let's see what this does. However you choose to measure them, I'm gonna do this, watch. I'm just gonna get them all on this thing, and when they're all on, then I'll come back and round them out. Make sense, ladies?
Yep.
All right, I'm not gonna be able to fit them all in the pan because there's a searing step next. So I'll stop there, save the rest for later. By the way, you could easily freeze them for another day. In the meantime, let's get something to cook them on. Pan on the heat, little olive oil, let that start heating. We're just gonna take our little meatballs. Yeah, I've been rolling them in my hand while I'm waiting for the pan to get hot, but when it is, in they go. Now look, I know they're round now, but they're in a flat pan and they may not stay perfect, but everybody gets the idea. Let's not forget, these guys are hardly round. They got two flat sides on them. It's like a tube shape. So when it comes to meatballs for spaghetti and a meat sauce, etc., you don't have to do this step. You could just go from here to cooking them in the sauce. But I like a little texture on the outside. I think this makes for a better meatball. There's probably a Nona or 10,000 that might disagree with me, but that's okay. We're all allowed our own cooking styles and opinions. Yeah, I couldn't have fit them all in here anyway. And then when they're all in, we're doing that. Little crust, little texture, a lot of deliciousness. All right, you see what we're doing, let it happen. Wait, you guys each do a meatball count. Don't say it. I'll ask you what it is out loud. I'll do it too. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3, 27. Excellent.
We all got it.
Okay, so there's a couple of little spots that aren't quite done, but they're gonna be okay. Remember, you could put these in the sauce without having done anything to them in the pan first, and they'll be fine. So let's go to the pan. Beautiful. And voila. So, oh, it's getting so much better. And if you didn't know, what I'm gonna do now, adding these guys, is gonna make the sauce and the meatballs better. So keep it at a simmer. You can throw the lid on. I'll be back in 15. And we're putting our SPAGHETTios together. And here's what we're gonna be using. They're SPAGHETTios in the whatever, annellini. I think I've also seen it as annaletti, but annellini, annaletti. It's a SPAGHETTiO shape. You can find it. Probably not at a basic supermarket. I bought these at an Italian one. San Diego has a fantastic Little Italy, really fantastic. And you can find these there. Well, lid off and we're there. Look how nice. Oh, these little perfect little meatball guys. I love them. But here's what we're gonna do. Let's get this out of the way, get a bowl, and now here's my pasta. So let's get some of this in there. Most dry pasta takes about 8 minutes. This took 15. And now we'll take some of our sauce. Just the sauce so far, and mix. Man, I'm getting I can't see. I'm blind. It's steaming my whole face. These guys away. Move this, put this here. And now we SPAGHETTiO. Vamos. Now some meatballs. I have to, on mine, give a little cheese and a touch of parsley. But wait, there you go. Ours versus theirs. Well, you know, the thing we keep marveling at is the paleness here. We don't get it. And we were okay with the SPAGHETTios. We're not okay with that. So let's see how we've done here. Let's try our SPAGHETTios first. Just a bite of that. Looks pretty good. That's got some smell to it. Rich, flavorful, a little bit of heat from the red pepper flakes. Oh damn, it's so good. But now a meatball, mostly by itself. Not even close. Those are not meatballs. Those are weird little hot dog pieces that taste like shit. You can do this. The recipe's here, just waiting for you. And whether you make baby meatballs or big ones, or you use SPAGHETTios or go find some other pasta, just do it. Don't just stand staring, watching. Do. Be a doer, not just a looker. Right, Max?
Right.
Isn't that what you say?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if I've ever said that, but yes.
Anyway, oh God, that bite. Look at that bite. The perfect little green on there, the whole thing. You could be having this for yourselves.